Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Michael Jordan planning to sell the Charlotte Hornets. Under Michael Jordan's tenure as an owner, the Hornets have only made the NBA playoffs 3 times while never advancing past the first round of the NBA playoffs. Michael Jordan plans to sell the majority stake of the Hornets to 2 guys named Gabe, Plotkin, and Schnall. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So here it is. What is your reaction to Michael Jordan's plan to selling the Hornets? And what I gotta say is, finally MJ finally did it, because I'm a Hornets fan and I've seen Michael Jordan not care about the Hornets at all. Michael Jordan's only goal in the NBA was to profit and become a billionaire, and that's exactly what he did. When Michael Jordan bought the Charlotte Bobcats, that was the name at the time, he bought it for $275 million. Now he gets to sell it on his way out for at least $1.7 billion, but someone will overpay the value and put it at $2 billion. So when you look at it from that perspective, Michael Jordan benefited off big time. He gets to make even more money. As for winning, yeah, Michael Jordan never really cared about that. Michael Jordan, he is the greatest player to have ever played the sport, but he is one of the worst owners who have ever owned an NBA team. Michael Jordan's plan on the Charlotte Hornets was literally to squeeze every penny out of his deals. And Michael Jordan was one of the cheapest owners in all of basketball. Michael Jordan was one of the rare owners that did not spend to get to a luxury tax. Now in the NBA, when you get to a luxury tax, that is nothing more than a formality. Not for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan operated his teams as if his teams were under a hard cap league like the NFL. Obviously, that's not how it's going to work in the NBA. In the NBA, in order to win, you have to spend money, particularly if you are a small market team. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Look at the Denver Nuggets. Look at the Atlanta Hawks a couple of years back. Look at the Utah Jazz year in and year out, pre-Danny Ainge days even. We'll even go back as far as that. They were willing to spend money in order to show that they could field a competitive team and make the NBA playoffs year in and year out. No, Michael Jordan didn't want to do that. And I don't want to hear the excuse about, oh, it's a small market team. Oh, they're in Charlotte. Nobody really expects them to do anything anyways. That's a bunch of bull crap. If Michael Jordan's team was owned in New York, if they were owned in Chicago, if they were owned in Miami, they would still be perennial losers, because the way that Michael Jordan runs his team, it's not a winning formula. And also, every decision that the Charlotte Hornets have made, it basically goes back to Michael Jordan. His general managers, most of them, yes men. His coaches, yes men. They all follow whatever MJ thinks. And Michael Jordan is a very old school guy. He was an old school player, and that's how he became great at it. It's fine being old school, but when you're an owner, you have to do what's best for the team. You have to be able to update the kind of strategies that you do to build your teams. And Michael Jordan did not do a good job doing that. In fact, Michael Jordan did a poor job of that. There's a reason why Michael Jordan, he's one of the greatest players ever, but as an owner, he simply could not cut it. As an owner, his teams never got past the first round, and there's really nowhere to blame but Michael Jordan. There's only one common denominator in mind when you look at these trash Charlotte Hornets teams. It's Michael Jordan. They've changed coaches. They've changed general managers. They've changed players. They've changed a lot of things. But one thing they haven't changed is ownership. And when you look at the ownership, Michael Jordan's the majority owner, and he must get the blame for the Hornets' shortcomings. When you look at the Charlotte Hornets under Michael Jordan's tenure, there have only been 3 players that have ever received an All-Star bid. And the All-Star bid is basically a popularity contest. Those 3 were Gerald Wallace, Kemba Walker, and LaMelo Ball. But let's be honest, LaMelo Ball made it because he's freaking LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball would have been an All-Star in any other city. It's not exactly like they developed him. LaMelo Ball just was a great player like that. When you look at the other 2 though, Gerald Wallace, okay, I give him credit there, and I also will give him credit for Kemba Walker. What he did with those 2 was pretty impressive. But how many players did it take? And you look at some of these other players that the Charlotte Hornets have drafted under the tenure of Michael Jordan. He's drafted a lot of busts. The year Anthony Davis went number 1 overall, we selected Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who's already out of the NBA. But when you look at the Charlotte Hornets, man, they have not done a good job drafting. They drafted Cody Zeller with the top 4 pick. They also drafted Malik Monk when Donovan Mitchell was still available for them. So when you look at some of those draft selections that the Hornets messed up, it looks pretty bad for them. And that's just some of the mistakes that they made. I could go on even further. I could point out about Adam Morrison being a top 3 pick. You guys probably don't even know who that is, but Adam Morrison, he was supposedly this great shooter coming out of the draft that the Charlotte Bobcats decided to draft, and he ended up being horrible for them. So when you look at it from that perspective, the Charlotte Hornets, the Charlotte Bobcats, whatever you want to call their name under the Michael Jordan era, they've been horrible, and I couldn't be more happy that he's selling the team to these 2 guys. I don't really know a lot about these 2 guys to begin with, but Gabe Plotkin and Schnall, they've got to be better than Michael Jordan. No way could there be an owner worse than Michael Jordan. Gabe Plotkin, if you guys don't know what he is, he's a minority owner of the Charlotte Hornets, and he's an American hedge fund manager. Now, I get nervous when I hear the name hedge fund because David Tepper was also a hedge fund manager, and he sucks as an owner of the Carolina Panthers. But hopefully, Gabe Plotkin will be better at owning a team than David Tepper would be, and that's for Schnall. He's a minority owner of the Atlanta Hawks. I don't mind him coming along. The Atlanta Hawks have been a pretty good team in recent seasons, so he seems to know a thing or two about winning basketball games, and he seems to know how to build a good team around a star player, which the Charlotte Hornets have in LaMelo Ball. But if I'm Michael Jordan, though, I would wait until the Hornets could select first. That way he can get value, even more value, that is, with the Charlotte Hornets, and he could possibly profit the team for at least $2 billion. But let's see what happens. But overall, though, pretty happy with it. I'm like, let's go. The misery of being a Hornets fan is about to end very soon. At least that's what I'm hoping. So that is why I am pretty happy with Michael Jordan's plan to sell the Charlotte Hornets. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DustinTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinTran and @Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.